Nostalgic America in 1964 with a 16-year-old boy and girl. Roma, Texas. We had regained the summer weather by taking a road trip to Roma, Texas. Indeed, some of the buildings and gas stations had a Roman motif, some selling faux items from that period.
Someone must have found some stray objects long ago.
We traveled out to the hills, noting one that had a road leading to an excavation in it, which had happened long ago from the looks of it. Most of it washed by blowing sand that had settled everywhere. We looked in. It was empty. We walked to the far wall of the cavern, checking it and the ground with a flashlight. There are still some indentations in the ground here, where the footsteps would have been few. They look like bases of
Sculptures.
the great library lives on.
Somewhere.
We are too late.
Yes, probably 25 years too late.
We returned to Illinois. Autumn had well since arrived and gone on, but it was a long one. The rustling of the trees came to our ears, in this, the most mellow time of year.
The harvest brings fulfillment, yearning too, for autumn is both a smile and a tear.
Riverside, we raised our cups to the zephyr. A diamond wealth sparkled upon the water, seen, gleaming through rose-colored glasses, as we relaxed on the noon thereafter. I looked in the pond, but saw her face, for we had merged in love, she and I.
A fish swam in the reflected sky. Sunset's image had burned the water dry.
We dried the seeds and ate them, each still a glowing ember of memory of the bright days among 1,000 suns.
There, the blinding luminosity of sunflowers.
Then sunk the crescent sideways into the sea.
Evening songs had tucked in the planetary paramours, and Jupiter and Venus had pulled the cover of night up and over their bed.
With sparks from passion's smoldering embers, we reignited all that our love remembered, then steamed through emotion's ocean, in the relationship of which we were the crew members.
Joanne pondered. The treasures and scrolls of the ancient world are still being decoded somewhere by that old high school teacher.
A whole ship's worth, the one ship that escaped?
No, probably not, but he may have some of it.
He brought them to Illinois from Texas.
That he did.
They are in the driftless area.
But we'll never find them.
True, we probably won't. It's a large area that touches several states, although the Illinois portion is the smallest.
He would have been partial to Illinois, to its caves and caverns especially.
But it's large enough, too much to search.
But it is enough for us that we know that some of the treasures from the great library survived.
Yes, and there will be great revelations one day.
And then we will know where to look.
We could have your mother check with some historians in case anything has already popped up.
Actually, I did some time ago, but she's heard nothing back yet.
It was still fun, though.
Yeah, the best, and all because we liked secret places.
She took me on a wild jungle ride, then purred like a pussycat at my feet. Oh, never did I hear a sound so sweet as when she moaned like a panther in heat.
We kissed at the boundary of day and night, ourselves merging in the blend of twilight. She and me and her, hers, mine, and ours, as the day gold melted into the jeweled night.
Kissing on the rocks down by the riverside, our rhythm rippled the water, raised the tide, rang ship's bells, danced lights across sea and sky, all vibrations from hearts that were satisfied.
Where might we be? We are astride the duality of the yin and the yang.
Winter had come and was going on.
Perhaps we could go somewhere over the break.
If only we knew where the cream of that great library was.
Well, we could only scan the news for some possible related information.
We were in the crystal-caverned dome at Carroll Playground, camping out, having brought a small gas heater, placing it just outside the entrance but blowing in. We stepped outside later. The Earth's day star had set. the twilight dusk putting it to rest. Even if one had never seen the night sky, one could infer the existence of many distant suns shining far away as stars in the black velvet.
There was no moon, and we were away from the Chicago city lights, and so we could see thousands of the glittering jewels of various colors. If these gems had been diamonds on our carpet, we would have been rich.
Arcturus was orange, Betelgeuse red, and Sirius blue with a green companion.
We could also deduce the planets of those solar systems. Such can some things be foretold from existence.
A misty, wide and white highway crossing the night sky was the Milky Way galaxy. Seen edge on, and we could also see the Andromeda galaxy through our binoculars. It was no great shakes to intuit many more. It turns out that in every dark patch of sky, no larger than a grain of sand, that there are over 10,000 galaxies. The universe was surely much larger than it needed to be.
If this universe was here at this time in this place, as from an inflating bang, then surely there could be more, making for the extrapolation of an endless cosmos. There was truly much more out there than there needed to be.
So it is that we surmise, reason, interpret, gather, understand, presume, and assume that there are countless numbers of stars and planets out there, as well as endless numbers of universes. What the heck is going on? Why so many? They were perhaps even near infinite, whatever that means.
Why is it so overdone?
Well, infinite largeness is so vast because the infinitesimal is so small, but that's not the direct reason, but more like a reason to a reason, which is that totality would not be as such if it were limited in extent. And from that line of thought, we also know that it cannot be limited by duration.
Eternity must accord with infinity.
Yet there is nothing and nowhere for this everything to have come from. So now we understand that nothing and everything must complete the package, begun by the figuring in of infinity and eternity.
It is the ultimate reckoning. Everything happens everywhere forever, from next to nothing.
Many weeks had passed and the school year was already getting on into spring. My graduation would soon be at hand. And that was when Joanne's mother gave us some news from a historian friend.
My mother got the word that some purported pages of a lost book of Plato's were anonymously dropped at a historical society 2 years ago. An attached note said only that more would be revealed every month. My mother got the word that some purported pages of a lost book of Plato's were anonymously dropped at a historical society 2 years ago.
And that was when Joanne's mother gave us some news from a historian friend.
How did it go over?
They declared it to be a most excellent fraud.
Yes, so excellent that it was real, but no more of it was ever sent.
That's odd.
Not if he died.
If he was dying, then that may be why he was going to release it.
Or he was well and just had second thoughts.
Or it is unrelated, but he would have been more than 80 years old. Where is this historical society?
Galena, Illinois.
What? That is in Driftless.
I was trying to build up the suspense.
The picturesque town of Galena lies in the northwest corner of Illinois, where you can find dramatic views of the Mississippi River, lofty geologic precipices, scenic farms, as well as historic buildings. It is one of the most unique areas in the state, harboring rare plant species found nowhere else in Illinois. The highest geographical point in the state is in Scales Mound, the next town northeast of Galena, and the darkest area in the state occurs at Apple River Canyon State Park, located in the eastern part of Joe Daviess County. Because northwest Illinois, and also portions of Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Iowa, escaped the continental glaciers of the Pleistocene epoch, it is known as the driftless area. A few interesting facts about the natural wonders. Approximately 271 bird species regularly occur in the driftless area of Illinois. This represents almost 90% of the 300 species of birds that regularly occur in the state. Of these 271 species, 138 breed or formerly bred in this area. The species diversity of the area is due to its geographical location and its topographic complexity. Here, several species of birds reach or are near their geographical limits. Dry cliff communities are found on the bluffs facing the Mississippi River, with the most spectacular examples in Mississippi Palisades State Park, where the cliffs rise 280 feet above the floodplain. There are about 1,632 miles of rivers, streams, and shorelines in the driftless area of Illinois. The three largest streams are the Plum River, Apple River, and the Galena River. 42%, 915 species of Illinois native flora occurs in the driftless area, an area that comprises only 1.7% of the state's total land area. The driftless area is one of the most rural areas of the state, so its public land holdings are relatively large and contiguous, helping to reduce the negative effects of fragmentation. 45 species of mammals occur here, representing 78% of the state's mammal species. The state-threatened river otter and bobcat can be found here. The main breeding population of the river otter in Illinois occupies the backwaters and tributaries of the Mississippi River in Joe Davis, Carroll, and Whiteside counties. The driftless area of Illinois supports 89 species of fish, 39 species of mussels, and 9 species of large crustaceans. 11 amphibian and 25 reptile species occur here, including the state-threatened western hognose snake and the timber rattlesnake.